right channel, TLC. And of course, this is Lee on Motivationalee. I would like to ask you, do you still have those strong visions in life? And what are those? And how old are you, by the way? Do you still dream of going to a different country just to study, perhaps? Live, work, or just visit? It doesn't really matter. Let's make things happen because you're in the right channel. Obviously, it is great to migrate with Lee every Friday, 7 p.m. AEST Melbourne time. And of course, it's 5 p.m. in the Philippines. Wherever you are, please adjust. So catch me. Don't forget every Friday, the different visas and testimonies as well when it comes to migration. So see you then. Let's talk. Bye.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our program. Migration is great to migrate, only here on TLC with Lee. I hope you can all see me. How's that? There you go. Hello, mabuhay, everyone. Welcome once again. Thank God I'm here. And welcome to our episode 1 here on Motivationalee, of course, with Lee and Talk Live channel. Migration is great to migrate. And of course, to join us tonight, none other than one of the registered migrant agent in Australia, all the way from Australia, obviously. Let's now welcome Niti Hara. How are you, Niti? Good afternoon,
I'm
good
good,
evening,
Lee.
and good morning, everyone. Global viewers. There you
I'm
go.
good, Lee.
There
Thank
was
you
a bit of
so
a
much.
technical. That's right, and it's good to see you as well. Thank God we were able to surpass some of the technical issues a while ago, and hopefully you can all see us, guys. And to all our global viewers, thank you so much for dropping by. Once again, I am Lee, motivationally together with Niti, and today is our season 1, episode 1 on migration. And first up, Niti, we're going to talk about the student visa, right? And subclass 500.
Yes.
But before we talk about that, Niti, obviously the people in all over the world who's watching right now, would like to get to know us, both of us, better because it's our first episode. Obviously, we need to give them a bit of a brief background of ourselves. And you can start with that, Niti. Take it away.
Thank you, Lee. My name is Niti. I am the Director and Registered Migration Agent, Director of Way Towards Migration Services. I am based in Melbourne, in Australia, and I am a migrant to Australia as well, and I am one of the student migrant. Came in Australia 18 years ago. I now I'm helping people like me or people who aspire to come here or migrate here. So that's
Beautiful.
me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Niti. Well done. And of course, once again, I am Lee. I am obviously a nurse, educator, and also I am a life coach. I actually specialize on wellness coaching. Wellness, if you have anxiety, you have problems with performance outcome. What else? When it comes to burnout, stress, obviously, and self doubt, I'm always here to coach you guys to overcome everything and reach your vision in life. And also, I'm a direction coach. I coach. I do career coaching and income resources to boost your income resources at the same time. So that's why and I'm also a YouTube blogger, obviously. So on my YouTube, I always make sure that I align my topics in what I always do, wellness and direction. So please, if you haven't seen my YouTube channel, please you can visit, like, share, and subscribe. It's all about motivationally. So that's all for today. And of course, I also help students, not just students, but any skilled sort of like migration concerns with Niti here, obviously with Way to Oz. I'm here to help Niti as well, find the right clients and assess them as well in my own little way. And of course, help them reach their dreams in life. So it's all about us, me and Niti for today. Now, Niti, first stop, let's talk about subclass 500, which is today for the episode 1 is all about student visa. So for those who are tuning in
Right.
right now, welcome into this program and hope you can also make sure that you can type your comments below as well. Okay. So Niti, what do you think? Let's start about rolling. Let's
Absolutely.
start with I've got this quick question about student visa. this is a common with most of our clients, obviously. They're thinking about, if I'm going to apply for student visa, what could be the typical process or processing time, perhaps, or the whole process about it? What else? Expectations and requirements,
Absolutely.
especially the schools that we look after all over Australia. So take it away, Niti. Thank you.
Thank you. Student visa, I think before I answer that question, let's understand what student visa is. So student visa is for any international student who wants to come to Australia for studying purposes. So let's make it that the purpose is study only. That's what the student visa is for. In terms of the process, it is a complicated process. But if I speak from a Department of Home Affairs perspective or visa department perspective, then the students, most importantly, should have something called COE, or confirmation of enrollment, to apply for this visa. So they cannot apply if they have not got confirmation of enrollment for any educational institution from Australia. So once they have that, only then they can apply for the visa. Certainly, there are some other factors which are involved, such as what are their English standards? Do they have proper funds to support their study and living in Australia? Are they actually genuine temporary entrant? And we can elaborate it later on about it. So there are so many factors that contribute when we apply for student visa, and that must be considered by an aspiring international student who's coming to Australia.
Good, beautiful. And there's so many schools in Australia, actually. And
Absolutely.
yes, and I myself, I am very much privileged and honored, Niti, for choosing me as your representative in all Australian states. Like in regional South Australia, even in Western Australia, in Queensland, and of course here in Melbourne, Victoria, and Canberra, and of course in Sydney as well. So we have so many schools related. So Niti, another question about this student visa, and thank you for sharing about all of these expectations, processing, and the requirements. Now, the processing time. Have you mentioned about the processing time?
The processing time can vary anywhere from 1 week to 2 months.
I see.
So the processing time, depending upon the workload, that changes a lot. Sometimes if you have provided a decision ready, everything is done, then they can grant a visa within a week. Whereas then sometimes it can take a while. For example, students have to go through a health checkup, and if they and that's done by a third party, if that takes a while, then it can prolong the processing time. So anywhere from 1 week to several months.
Yeah, and that's good. It all actually applies to any visas anyways. Like, it all varies.
Correct.
When it comes to processing them. As long as you're patient and you're there, at the same time you pray for it that it will be possible, depending on the requirements as well. And of course, the schools, everything, the whole thing about it. Now, Niti, this is also I always hear this the GE, because the whole visa is actually based on this, right? The whole visa based on this.
Yes.
Or general temporary entrant, right? Could you elaborate on this people or who are doing this student visa in the future? Visa, the GTE or general temporary
entrant criteria. So there are some factors which decision makers take into consideration when they are assessing a student visa application form. Now, these factors, there are 7 or 8 factors. The factors are, what are applicant circumstances? Like they regard to in their home countries, what kind of circumstances are in their home country? What would be their circumstances when the student comes here in Australia? What is the value of the course to the applicant's future, which the applicant has chosen for? What is the applicant's immigration history? What are their intentions? Do they have enough funds to support themselves? So that's genuine temporary entrant. Based on this is a very subjective criteria that decision makers take into consideration when they're assessing a student visa application.
That's
right?
right.
So let's say if a student is coming from a country where there is it's a war zone or something, that may not be considered as a genuine student, because the chances are he may not return because there's already a chaos in his own country. So there are many factors that's considered. So that's why for every student visa application is accompanied by a GTE statement where the student has to express all these factors. What are the potential? What are his ties to the home country? Is he really coming to study in Australia? Why he has chosen particular course? What's the value of the course? And what kind of job opportunities he is going to look for when he returns back to his home country? So all these factors, when combined together, are called GTE.
That's good. Thank you for that. Thanks for sharing that thoughts as well. And for those who are tuning in, I'm sure someone is thinking, well, if I start applying the student visa right now, maybe in a month's time, I'll have the visa already. It's not that. They're step by step according to your needs as well. It also includes your financial situation. It's not just like we found a school, then you can apply to the, say if the intake is January, February, or March 2022, and you've applied today or even this month, it doesn't mean that you can, you can get into that intake in January, because you have the visa, the migration itself are very strict with requirements as well. So if you have more questions
Absolutely.
about this, guys, obviously, you can reach out to us. I'll send the link below on the bio below, or I will let you also. I'll show it later on where you can reach way to us migration as well, so you can ask for more information about this. Okay, it's gonna be an easy flow, but make sure that you're also ready as well with all the information for you guys, not just the school, but the whole thing about this. But thank you so much, Nidhi, for that. Now, before anything else, I would like to say hello to all our viewers right now globally, and congratulating us, Niti, for this first episode today, 1st of October
Yay.
as well, and it's a month anniversary of Talk Live channel as well. So, guys, TLC people, thank you so much for embracing us and allowing us to do this, season about migration, which is great to migrate. I would like to say hello to Suarez saying congratulations, Lee, for your pilot episode. Thank you. Ida is here as well saying congratulations on migration. Thank you. And Bang said mabuhay. And thank you. Mabuhay says it's like hola, viva, something like that, Nitya, right? How do you say that in your own language? You say hello and, like hello,
We
hi,
say
all the best. How do you
namaste.
say that?
We say namaste. Namaste is
Namaste. There
greetings.
you go. Namaste. Thank
Correct.
you for that.
Namaste.
There you go. Namaste for everyone. And Kenya here is here as well. Katabay Celeste. Congratulations. Thank you. Niha Sarao. Thank you so much for that. Two big claps there. And Elizabeth Albaran saying good afternoon. And there's more here, Niti. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support. Dandy Brad Bong. Congratulations, Coach Lee, on your pilot episode. Migration, thank you. Sashi,
There you go.
Sakshi Kalra, namaste. Thank you very much. Jaiki is here in the house. Thank you, Jaiki.
Well,
My very good friend Jaiki. Thank you so much. All the way from Melbourne, obviously. Thank you very much. And she says, beautiful ladies. Thanks for the compliment. Jaiki, thank you so much. And he said that good work. Thank you so much. And Estelita as well is here saying blessed morning to all. So I don't know, Estelita, where you are, but good morning wherever you are. And thank you for adjusting the time right now, as we have started 7 p.m. AST here in Melbourne. And Jackie as well, Niti says, highly recommended way to us migration services, obviously migration services. Thank you for that. Salute.
thank you.
And of course,
Thank
Esita says,
you.
thank God, I'm so blessed. And Sadev Krishna, oh, I can't pronounce this, Ashareen. Oh, namaste. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. Good to see you guys. And thank you so much for tuning in. And for all our friends, Niti, in Nepal, I don't know how to speak in Nepalese, in Singapore, thank you so much for tuning in. And in Sri Lanka as well, in the UK, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And few of our friends in Australia and in America. Thank you so much. So this is really global. Orit is here. Hello, Orit. Thank you so much for dropping by. all the way from Australia. So, Niti, we've got some support people today for a pilot episode. Thank you so much for that. Now, is there anything else, Niti, that you want to add to that before I ask for another common questions here that has been given to me last week for some of the people who wanted
I
to
just
apply
wanted
for
to add,
visa?
yeah, sure. I just wanted to add, we've been talking about the student visa stage, the student visa application stage, but for our viewers, there's a process before that as well. That is, and which is Lee, you are heavily involved in that. Reaching
Yes.
out to the universities. The universities have got their own criteria. So before they offer you, they issue a letter of offer to aspiring students. They go through many checks. They need to make sure you've got the right standards of English. The course that you are selecting, is it really matching the pre-qualifications or the skills you may have acquired in your home country? So there are lots of checks before a student visa application file is prepared, and that can take a while when dealing with the different universities or institutes. So it's very important, and that's what our role is, to help you guys,
That's right.
guide you, do a bit of a career counseling. What is the good option for you? What's a good study pathway? And reaching out to the different universities and the institutes.
Definitely. And
Mm.
a lot of schools, Niti, question here. If I would like to apply as a student visa, Niti and Lee, is it worth it? Because it's pandemic. What do you think about that, Niti?
Absolutely, it is worth it. In COVID, I mean, as you can see, we are not in the actual studio, we are doing Zoom. So similarly, the universities, the institutes have now have got online class options. So they are still offering the lectures. And once the borders are open, these institutes or the universities, they will try to bring their students back to the country. So absolutely, it is worth, even during COVID-19 pandemic, because the learning
That's
hasn't
right.
stopped.
True, true. And there's so many courses to choose from anyways. And for those who have just messaged me on Messenger, how about nursing? Can they, because you've just said, Niti, that it can be online. A lot of schools right now all over the world has been shifted to online anyway. So we are
Absolutely.
now in this new norm, online studying. Yes, nursing does that as well. The only thing that some of the schools, because I teach in universities and TAFEs and other RTOs as well, in between, my free time as a freelancer. But majority has done a lot of like online learning, or they call it remote learning. And some of the practical stuff, they have this simulation, like they call it nurse sim, that they talk about, that you can actually practice online. But the only downside about that is that you don't have that hands-on on laboratory, not unless you are on shore. And that's the hardest thing about nursing. But obviously, each school can negotiate with you if you want to get accepted, especially now for those who already accepted for doing an online thing, online remote learning theory itself. And if the practical, depending on the school, they might arrange something for your practical stuff. Maybe they can, push it back whenever the border is already open. So again,
Correct.
you don't need to stress. You don't need to, panic about this. Whichever school that we have found for you, we make sure that they have that open communication as well, so that you have peace of mind while you're overseas or offshore. So I hope I've said my 10 piece there. And other courses like those who are non-practical, like the teaching, like masters in teaching, DT, they do that a
Yeah.
lot of remote learning as well, masters in
Yes.
teaching. And
Yeah.
any courses, even like I think some of the theories that can be done in remote learning, like being a chef here and all that, they do that as well. Again, different schools, RTOs and TAFEs, has their own policies and procedures, so just have to adhere to that.
Absolutely.
All right.
And not to.
So
Yep.
Niti, I think it's we to have a little break. Shall we have a little break first for a few seconds so that we can have a bit of a sip of water, because we've given a bit of an information, and you can also add something later on, Niti, if you have forgotten something. Okay, because
Absolutely.
we've got some sponsors as well who would like to be seen right now, and we will come back. Guys, please tune in. Just stay back, sit back, and relax. We'll be right back. Just for just seeing our two major sponsors here. And of course, I just want to say something, Niti, about Mega World. What's best to invest in 2021? Of course, only with real estate. Mega World, they are actually giving you a lot of different pathways for you to improve your and boost your resources as well. So please, if you want to invest wherever you are, whether you're in Nepal, Sri Lanka, or in the UK, Australia, Canada, wherever you are, please make sure you keep in touch with us. Contact this number in front of you right on your on YouTube and FB page on via Motivationalee. So Mega World was best to invest in 2021. And of course, you've just seen Way to Oz. And as just mentioned right now, Way to Oz is one of the best migrant agency and education services here in Australia. And if you want to know something about the different visas, obviously Way to Oz can cater that. And of course, Niti is here as our director of Way to Oz. Now, back to you, Niti. Okay, there's a question here about, again, student visas. We're not just talking about vocationals. We also talk about higher degrees, higher educations. I mean, all right. So let's first up. I think let's start with those people who would like to apply as a student visa doing the higher education. So what do you think? Well, like let's talk about what's all about the higher education student visa is all about. What are the requirements? Perhaps is it the same with other courses? And what are the work rights? They need to know because they spend a lot of money for the show money and everything. And what are the work rights?
Okay. So I think let's start with the requirements. Let's start with the requirements. Now, in general, the requirements, I briefly mentioned some of those before, which is the first one is a GD, Genuine Temporary Entrant. English requirement, financial arrangements. English means that there are a few English types of tests that are acceptable by Department of Home Affairs, such as Ielts, TOEFL, OET, PTE. So a student must score minimum of 5.5 to apply or equivalent for the other tests. And most important, the financial arrangements, which is that they should have enough funds to support their study and living. And there's a certain way that how that's calculated. But most importantly, and Lee, you're going to be very happy with this, and all our Philippines and some countries like UK, that the department use combined evidence level outcomes of students' education provider and the country of citizenship, and to guide whether student really needs the English test or financial evidence. So Philippines is a level 1, we call it, level 1 country. So anyone who's coming from Philippines, from a department's perspective, they do not need to provide the English language evidence. However, yes, and same as UK. However, the educational institution where they're getting the confirmation of, we're doing their course, they may have a different requirement. They may ask them to perform, appear in their own English test, but there's no requirement from the Department of Home Affairs. Now, the university or the education institution may ask for the funds evidence, but that's not required by DHA, but only for few countries. So it's a combination of the country where you belong, the passport you're holding, plus some of the institute. So that's a combined, and we can do that assessment, whether you would require an English or evidence, or would you require to show the funds. So that's a good news for our Philippines, UK, people in Sweden. Yes.
Even in America and Canada, obviously.
Yes, UK, US, yes, yeah.
That's really a good news, Niti. Thank you for that.
That's right. So
exciting.
Yes. Other than that, in terms of the requirements now, I think this is important to call out that the income, the funding, how we establish that funds, that's very important. So just a general rule is first year of living, which is around $21,041 as defined by the Department of Home Affairs, plus first year of tuition fee a student applicant needs to show. Plus, they should always they should be holding OSHC, which is Overseas Student Health Cover, a health insurance, basically. So every student who's coming must hold OSHC. However, Australia has a reciprocal healthcare agreements with certain countries like UK, Sweden, Finland. There are a few countries. So these people do not need health insurance. They get the Medicare while they're on
Yeah, because it's
student visa.
converted here, the UK. That's right.
Correct,
That's right.
correct.
That's good.
So yeah, those are the requirements.
Nice,
Now,
nice.
one more thing I just wanted to add. You just said, Lee, it's about higher education. It's also about if a parent wants to send their kids to do the primary education or school, that they can also come on student visa. The only thing is anyone who is less than 18 will need to be accompanied by a student guardian. And so student guardian could be mom, dad, or anyone else. So they get another visa along with the applicant, the student visa applicant. However, they are not allowed to work at all, because the whole purpose is they're acting as a guardian to look after that student while that student is in Australia to study.
That's right. Guardian should be there all the time to look after them, not to work while
studying,
because they're underage, under the 18 years old. That's good.
Correct.
Good to know that. Good to know that. And correct me if I'm wrong, Niti, about the work rights you've mentioned about higher education.
Yes.
Is it full-time work rights, or is it like 20 hours a week?
So anyone who is coming for a vocational study or a bachelor's level study, they get part-time work rights, which means 40 hours a fortnight or 20 hours a week, right? And if they are bringing a spouse with them, they are also allowed to work 40 hours a fortnight or 20 hours per week. Part-time work allowed only.
Okay, just to reiterate this, Niti, okay? Sorry to interrupt. I'm so sorry to interrupt. So for the higher education, the applicant can work 20 hours a week or 40 hours a fortnight. And if their spouse is here with them, and of course, like the family thing, the spouse itself of that student applicant can also work, has the privilege to work 40 hours a fortnight or every 2 weeks, right? Or every week is 20 hours, correct?
Correct.
Right.
But if the student is coming for a master level qualifications, then yes, student has a part-time working rights, but his or her spouse could have a full-time working rights.
Okay. Wow, that's even better.
And as we go up, so if we have got a PhD level student, then the student has PhD, then the student have got full-time working rights.
Sorry, I didn't get that. So with a PhD full-time, did you say?
Yes, full-time working rights for the PhD students.
Wow. Whilst doing PhD, you can still work full-time, and even the spouse as well can work full-time,
even the spouse
right?
as well.
Correct.
Yes.
And with masters, let's say masters in teaching, for example, or masters in nursing, they can work full-time as an applicant, right? And
the student applicant is part-time. The spouse can work full-time for a master's student level.
Okay, cool. That's good. And for more information about that, guys, you can again reach out to us. And it's actually like showing in front of your screen. You can also message me via YouTube and my FB page, Motivationalee, if you want to know more about this, because 1 hour is not enough talking about student visa, but at least we can give you some golden nuggets right now, at least a bit of, not a bit, but a huge nuggets that you can take home tonight. Niti, before we continue with the work rights of the higher education for masters, PhD, and even the bachelor's degree, like in bachelor's degree, whatever bachelor's degree that you're taking, as you have mentioned for the bachelor's as well, 20 hours a week work rights, including the spouse, applicant and the spouse. And it's in every 2 weeks or fortnight, we call it here, it's 40 hours per fortnight work rights. That's really good. You know, you can work at the same time study. You can socialize. If you don't want to work, just socialize. Why not? You've got the choice as well. But before we continue, there's so many questions here. Oh my goodness, I'm drowning with questions. But I would like to say hello to Alina Sarao. Good to have you. Thank you, guys, for welcoming me. And of course, here. And Aman said, great job. Thank you so much for the Aman. Namaste. And Hence here saying, congratulations, Coach montage on your first episode, and to Mom Niti. Thank you so much, Brother Hens, for dropping by as well. And Sakshi Kalra, namaste. Doing great, thank you. And Niha as well, saying all the best. And Nora, you know her, Niti. Now, all the best. And there's a question here. I've got 3 questions from the viewers. I've got more than that, actually. Hang on a second, guys. Let's just do it one at a time. A question from a Syrian student. Hi, hello, Mr. Alsinawi. Sorry, I didn't butcher that. Alsinawi. The question here, Niti, is after I finish my bachelor's degree in mathematics, can I apply for study and migrate as a refugee?
No, not as a refugee.
Can I apply for study and migrate as a refugee?
So he wants to migrate as a refugee. That's a different visa altogether, not as a student. So what's his purpose? Does he want to come here to study, or is he looking for a refugee visa? That's a completely different visa subclass.
I think Mr. Al-Sanawi, if you could message here again, what's the purpose? Because I'm only reading what you're writing, and it says here, is it possible to apply without Ielts?
As I said, we have to
see. Is it possible to apply without the student visa?
For the student, as I said, the department uses combined evidence level, so we will have to see which provider they are going to and what passport do they hold.
Yeah, and you've mentioned that a while ago, Philippines,
yes,
UK,
correct.
Canada, which is such a good news for everyone. Mabuhay. Mabuhay is like, viva. That's good. I'm very happy with that. Another question here. Can a 30-year-old undergraduate apply for a bachelor's study to migrate in Australia using her grade 12 old curriculum records and disregard some subjects she took from college in the original country since she did not finish it?
Okay. Yes, you can apply, but you will have to demonstrate in your GTE statement what was the reason for that gap. You should be able to convince the educational institutions as well. If they are convinced and they offer you a course and they give you a confirmation of enrollment, no problem.
That's good to know. That's good to know. So if you're listening right now, I hope you got that. And this is recorded as well, so you can just do a replay as many times as you like. Now, there's another one here. Do you have free assessment with Way to Oz?
For the student visa applications, yes.
Okay. How about other visas?
Assessment, yes. Depends. No, not for the skill. Not all visas.
Mm-hmm. But for student visa right now, since episode 1, there is. So Anna Luz Binko, your questions, do you have a free assessment in Way to Oz? Yes, there is for student visa.
Yes.
Okay. And for more information about this, again, reach out to us on, you can go to our website, www.waytooz.com, and the contact numbers is there in front of you. You can reach out through WhatsApp as well, as I'll show it to you in a second, using this number as well through WhatsApp. So you don't need to, spend a lot of money calling us overseas. So WhatsApp is just a good app, isn't it, Niti? Niti has taught me this, so I'm loving it now. And of course, we are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter as well, and not just, and also Instagram. So it's in social media right now. Niti says everyone can reach out to us. Unlike the old style conventional way, they have to travel or call or fax, and that's so different. So we're so glad, even in this pandemic, it's such a blessing in disguise, isn't it, Niti?
And we are all digital. They can send all their documents via email. Yes, absolutely.
Great. And even signing now of documents is just really online. Amazing, amazing. Now we've got friends here from Singapore saying good day, everyone. Hello, Gary. Montecilio, thank you so much for dropping by. I'll talk to you later on. Niti, he's got questions as well about that, the different visa. Anyways, Mina Hara, hello, Mina, and Amanat Hara, hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Obviously, we're here for our season 1. For those who are late, we are on our season 1, episode 1. It's all about migration. It's great to migrate in Australia, and we're now in subclass 500 student, only here with Lee on TLC with Niti as our director, and of course the registered migrant agent as well here in Australia. And there's another question here, Niti, if you don't mind, before we can continue on student visa.
Go for it.
If you
Yeah.
don't mind, Miss Niti, if you could, hang on, let me just read it properly. If you don't mind, Miss Niti, if you could let us know the quick step-by-step of the expectations of the student visa.
Sure.
Want to know, like it's like for nurses, it's like an algorithm. Like this start
Sure.
with this, and that. So maybe that later on before we wrap up, perhaps, so that it can their brain as well and into their heart
Sure.
too. What do you think?
Sure.
Okay, so
Yep. Okay.
it's anonymous, but we'll get back to you. Okay, thank you so much for that. Now, Niti, anything you want to add before we continue with our discussions? Anything you want to add about student visa and higher education? No? Oh, good. Any other
Oh, good.
questions, guys? Good. Now, there's a thing called like, for example, if you have completed your student visa, right? For example, let's say student visa is is it 2 years, Niti, majority?
It depends. If you're taking bachelor's 3-year course, 4-year course, you are coming for master's, it depends upon the course duration.
The course itself, definitely. So let's, for example, if it's a bachelor, example, in nursing, whatever bachelor's you're taking, it's 2 years. What will happen, Niti, post completion of student visa? What happens next? Is there anything that you can share to all of us here? Well, I know what it is anyways, but to those people who are here,
I can see the excitement here because people are going to love it. So after student visa, students have got an option to apply for temporary graduate visa, which is called Subclass 485. Now, it is 2 to 4 years, depending upon where you have studied and which city you have studied. There are 2 streams. So people who are doing a graduate stream, who studied vocational course, they can apply through a graduate stream, which means they get 18-month visa, right? But again, yes, but not all of those. It depends upon the occupations, the outcome of that course, whether they can apply for that or not. However, anyone who who's coming here on student visa for bachelor's or higher level, they are eligible for postgraduate visa. So 2 years, they will get it. Right? That's not really that. Good. Yeah. So anyone coming for MBA, let's say, Masters of Business Administration or Bachelors of Nursing, as you said, they will get at least 2 years. And lately, and this is something new, the department is giving additional, like a second set of that temporary graduate, 1 or 2 years. So let's say someone's coming to Adelaide, which is defined as regional, as per the Department of Home Affairs, that's a regional state. So students who are coming to study in Adelaide for 2-year course, they can apply not just to 3-year temporary graduate. So after 2 years, they get an additional 1 year, right? And if they are working in an if they are studying in an outer regional institute, they could get another 1 year. So they could potentially get 4 years to fully, with the full-time working rights, to live, to work on their career, to find the jobs. So it's a 2 to 4 years, depending upon, as I said, the various criteria is there. They can apply for temporary graduate visa.
Okay. The temporary graduate visa here, Niti, is it the same with work visa?
No, I would not call it as a work visa, because work visa is more about when there's an employer who's looking to sponsor you and they need you. However, temporary graduate visa is giving an opportunities to the students who have completed study in Australia to look for various, career options, work full time, and explore.
That's a good pathway, isn't it? Right?
It's a bit of full-time work. So yes, I know some people call it as work visa just because it's a full-time work, but it's not a work visa.
I see. But that's a good opportunity if they're
absolutely
if visa's already is expiring because they've already finished the course, then they can still have the temporary graduate visa. And you've just mentioned a while ago that government now has given an opportunity of for GV or temporary graduate visa, they can have another plus 1 year if areas, right?
Correct.
Could you
and
tell
this
us
is the time.
Sorry.
This is the time when students actually work towards the pathway of their PR or permanent residency. That's the
Wow.
time after completion of their study when they're working towards the pathway. That, all right, I need to apply under this skilled category or another one. So that is the time given, giving them opportunity to look for a work and prove themselves.
Yeah. Original, they've got plus 1 year, so 3 years all in all as a TGV or temporary
Yeah.
graduate visa. And sorry to interrupt you there, but where are these regional areas again, so that people outside of this country would understand? If you talk about regional visa and the
So
government will
pretty
extend
much,
another 1 year.
yeah, pretty much. This is great. So there are two categories. Pretty much most of the Australia, except for Metro Melbourne, Metro Sydney, and Brisbane, pretty much everything is regional.
Okay, yeah.
So, but then there is an outer regional, which
That's
they have
right.
defined the postcodes. So something like, let's say Ballarat in Melbourne, those who know
In
about
Melbourne,
it.
yes. Yeah.
Or, so it's an outer regional. So they get extra, 2 years of temporary graduate. So we have to go by the postcodes that DHA has defined.
That's right. And with Way to Oz, anyways, guys, we can help you find the right
Absolutely.
the right sort of like regional for you that suits you best. And then it's up to you. At the end of the day, it's your decision. But we're here to assist you whilst you're, let's say, for example, you can call us and say, our visa, student visa is actually going to expire because we're finishing the course. We wanted to have this TGV opportunity and be at the regional area to have 3 years instead of 2 years. If you're in the metro, it's 2 years. Outside is 3 years. Then we can actually assist you with that, right, Niti? So all you have to
Yeah,
do is give
if
us a
they meet the
call, or
criteria, yes, if they
if
meet
you
the
meet the criteria,
criteria.
basically. Of course, we have to do as an assessment. As thank you for that. Now, Niti, this temporary, because it's very interesting about this TGV or temporary graduate visa. Is this because you said it's all about the bachelor's degree, higher degree, perhaps higher education? I mean, like PhD or master's, whatever it is. Does this actually also include like vocational, let's say a diploma of nursing, or do you call it enrolled nurse, or certificate 3, certificate 4? Would that
That's
actually
what
cover the TGV to apply TGV?
for vocational courses, as I said, depending upon the outcome of that, the students may or may not get an opportunity to apply for this temporary graduate visa. So enrolled nurse, no, unfortunately. But someone with, let's say, a diploma course in construction where he is a painter, right? He has got an opportunity because his skill, painting skill, is in high demand. Right. So
Speaking of
it
high
depends
demand,
upon
yeah,
for the people who are doing vocational courses, it depends upon the outcome of their qualification.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so depending, but the enrolled nursing, it's not, right? Which is
Not
2
because
years your diploma.
unfortunately enrolled nurse is in short-term skilled occupation list of Australia. So unfortunately, someone who's done vocational diploma of nursing, they cannot apply for temporary graduate visa.
I see. There's another question here, Niti. If they finish, let's say they're in regional area, let's say South Australia, Western Australia, or part in Upper Queensland as well. If they finish the 3 years because they've got additional 1 year in the regional area, can they apply? The visa expired. Can they apply for residency, or when can they apply as for residency?
During those 3 years or 2 years, whenever they are there, if they meet the criteria for whatever subclass they are applying, certainly they can.
That's really good. That's a good path, starting from student visa to temporary graduate visa after the expire of the student visa, TGV or temporary graduate visa.
Correct.
Within that 2 or 3 years, wherever you are, you can start applying for your residency. Amazing.
Absolutely.
It's really good. And again, we're here to support you guys, Way to Oz, okay? And Niti and myself will always be there for you. Now, someone is asking here, Niti. So many questions. I'm actually drowning with questions right now. Sorry, guys. If I didn't see some of your questions, apologize. For that you have mentioned, Niti, it says here, Ma'am Niti, would you mind if you could give us an example of what are the normal courses that would lead you to a TGV or temporary graduate visa after the student visa?
Right. So if you are coming on bachelor's, all courses, as I said, only for vocation, that rule applies only for vocational courses. So anyone who's coming for any bachelor course, whether it's Bachelor of Business, Bachelor's of Nursing, Bachelor's of Engineering, Bachelor's of Arts, there's so many courses. Anyone who is coming for a bachelor level or above course, they can all get the opportunity to apply for temporary graduate. That rule which we were talking about, that's only for vocational courses. So chef, right, they can apply for, so anyone who's coming here for certificate 3 in cookery plus certificate 4 plus diploma, like a 2-year vocational course in cookery or hospitality, and the outcome of that is a chef, then yes, certainly they can apply for that. Right. So
good.
Yeah. So that rule is only for vocational.
Yeah, good. How about automotive? Someone asked you, how about automotive?
Yes, they can. That is in demand. Yes, they can get the opportunity to apply for temporary graduate.
After the expiry of the student visa as an automotive, what do you call it? Automotive technician, right?
Automotive, yeah, motor mechanic. So the outcome of this is
Something
a motor
like that,
mechanic or a diesel mechanic.
Yeah, because they're high demand here, right?
Correct. Yes.
So guys, if you have friends or family skills, they can come here as a student, like as a chef or automotive mechanics. They can do that. What else for the vocational Niti, apart from automotive mechanics?
Painting. Look,
painting,
the list is endless, but I can talk about painting.
Just few, yeah.
Civil. I think there's another one. Civil draftsman. There is a telecommunication network planner, a telecommunication technician. These are all vocational one I'm talking about.
Yeah, and they can apply for
welding. Yes, absolutely.
Graduate visa. That's good. That's good. It's good to know, guys. For those who are tuning in, for those who are late, we're just talking about if the student visa, or regardless of the course that you are actually doing, if it's already expired because you're finishing the course, obviously, then you don't need to go home. You can still like apply for a temporary graduate visa. In the metro, you'll be given. Sorry,
I'm going to interrupt you. So not after it's expired, you need to engage the services of a migration agent before it's expiring, before it's too late. So let's not say it's after expired, it's before expiring, because that's very important, because we don't want them to become illegal in the country.
That's right. Because if it's expired, you have to, you're not legal here to stay.
Absolutely.
So is there any span of, like, let's say, for example, if this person is only studying 2 years in this country, and in 6 months' time, is going to expire because he or she is graduating, is that the right amount of time to reach out to Wait to Oz?
Absolutely. We recommend anyone who's coming here,
but not 1 month before the expiry, right?
Exactly. They should always have a migration agent who can help them through the pathway. Have they got the right course? Will it lead to, if they're on a vocational, will it actually lead to temporary graduate visa? What will they? So that strategy, it's a process. It's not one thing. So we need to put, as a migration agent, we need to put that strategy in place when they come here. So they should always be in continuous touch with the migration agent.
Beautiful. Again, guys, don't forget that you can replay this. Never wait for your visa to expire like a day before, and then you call us like, oh, we need help. But it's a day before. That's not right. You need to be organized. Have a diary. 6 months before is really good. At least we have plenty of time finding a suitable place for you to study, or for your TGV as well, which regional area you can go to if you want regional
whatever the next week is. Yes.
What's the next best suitable pathway again that we can go to, so that you can apply for residency as well. So that's good. Now, Niti, for there's no Ielts. No, that's already been done. Well, follow-up question: if this person has not reached the acceptable score for the Ielts or the English test, Niti, can they still come here and study? Like I heard this ELICOS before.
Absolutely.
Can you expand a little bit of that, please?
So I'm going to reference to Ielts, although there are other types of English tests as well that's acceptable. So the basic rule is that the student must have at least 5.5 score to apply for a student visa, right? If they have scored 5, then we can package it with an ALI course. ALI course is an English course for 10 weeks. So let's say a student scored 5 in their IELTS and they want to come on a student visa. What we can do is we can package their course, the final course, with ALI course of 10 weeks. Let's say if it's even less than that, which is 4.5 score, we can package it with 20 weeks of study. Right?
20 weeks of study.
If they have got 4.5, it depends upon the score, right? So if they've got 5, they don't need to do 20 weeks. They can just do 10 weeks, right? So, but there are, other than the ALI course, there are only English courses also. People from countries like Philippines, they come just to do the English course for 1 year or 2 years. So that's also a possibility.
Now, Nikki, there's another follow-up question. Okay, for the ALI course, once they finish the ALI course, can they then proceed to, while studying, can they do they need to take another IELTS so that they can really do the right pathway for student?
If it is packaged, if it was a packaged course when they came, then they don't, because they've already got a continuous study. After 10 weeks of ALI course, they would have started another whatever course they've got admission in, whether it's a vocational or bachelor's level,
Another course.
right? If they just came here for ALI course, only English, and now they want to apply again for another course, and they want to apply for a student visa, then yes, the department will ask for the IELTS.
I see. Okay. And of course, different schools has their own requirements for IELTS, you know, and some of them are really higher depending on the courses as well. So again, you know, don't hesitate to contact Way to Oz through Niti and myself. And again, replay this so you contact us as well. And it's all in front of your screen. We've got a website as well. Everything is there. We've got a contact number. You can use this number for WhatsApp or something like that. Not WhatsApp, WhatsApp. Okay. And you could reach us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp, as I've mentioned a while ago, and just find Way to Oz. Whew, Niti, I think we need to have a little break so that we can breathe a little bit. But thank you so much for that. And before we end later on, we need to make sure that we have that, you know, the requirements and the step-by-step as we get the chance to do that, Niti. But before that, guys, let's pause for a moment and we'll be back. Welcome back once again to Migration. As you can see, it's a different spelling because it says great. It's great to migrate. Only here with Lee and, of course, with Niti here in Australia. So again, Niti, thank you so much for the time. As I said, one out enough, Niti. Once again, guys, for those who are tuning in, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, okay? So, Niti, I would like you to tell us about the whole world, about with Way to Oz, the company that we are in right now. What are the requirements that they need to know? Maybe just a guide, eligibility as a whole, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, step 1, to reach out to obviously reach out to us and send us your profile or a CV, what you have studied in your home country. If you have already appeared in IELTS or English test, how much funds or your financial arrangements do you have? As much as information you can provide us, what course you are interested in. We will assess that, and one of us, Lee or myself, will get in contact with the aspiring student to do a bit of a career counseling, that these are the courses they can take, or maybe they need to increase their English score, or these are the funds they need to show, whatever the case might be, and agree what is the potential course that student wants to take. That's one. As a team, we go back to different universities or educational institution with a profile of the student. We would need all the passport, the pre-qualification documents, if they've got ALS score, all those evidentiary documents to take out to different institutions. So we usually do 1 to 2 universities we reach out to initially. Once then the universities or the institutes, they do a pre-assessment and they give a letter of offer to the students that, yes, we accept your application. However, we can offer you COE only if you meet certain criteria. And in that, usually the criteria is that's when they want to see that GTE statement or genuine temporary entrant. That's when the real work starts, where the student has to put all about himself, where is he coming from, what kind of composition, family composition he's got, what are the circumstances, what are the ties, how much funds he's got. So he needs to demonstrate his genuine intention to come to Australia for the study purposes. That's a very important, I'm reiterating, very important document. And that's what is submitted to the university. They assess it. And if they're happy with everything, that you've got enough funds, your GT is good, that's when they offer COE, confirmation of enrollment. So that's our milestone 1 when we receive the COE. Yoo-hoo! Now, since we've got the COE, before they're about to offer you a COE, they are going to ask you or the student to pay a semester fee. So the student needs to pay a semester fee. Now, remember, this is before the student visa application. So students who are listening here, they will have to pay the semester fee before the application of student visa to get the confirmation of enrollment. Once the COE has been received, that's when we can lodge the visa.
That's right.
Right? And once the visa is granted, that's when student can travel and study in Australia.
That's right. Good.
So that's what the process. I hope I've explained it. Let me know if I've missed anything here, Lee.
But I think you've done everything has been well today, Niti, and of course they can replay this any time of the day, as much as they like, of course. And I would like to thank you for that, Niti, for giving us such golden nuggets today as well. And thank you for being so patient answering all those questions. And for more questions, once again, you can reach out to us or even to me right now on YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel called Motivationalee. Please follow me on YouTube channel, guys, if you haven't. Again, type in Motivationalee and please like, subscribe. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and of course as Motivation. And I'm also in WhatsApp right now. And thanks for Niti for showing me how to use that. Okay, now Niti, since you've done everything, it's really a great opportunity right now that we've talked about Subclass 500 student visa, and a lot of people in front of us right now, even on my Messenger personal messages, that they're happy that if they want to study in Australia, they can bring their family and they have their work rights. And thank you, and they will replay this as well. And of course, before they do anything, reach out to us any time of the day. Is good that we're all shifted into an online opportunity. So anytime you can go to our website. Again, you can contact on this number, WhatsApp. Again, all of these social medias, guys. You don't have any excuses right now of not reaching out to us. We're always here to support you, to assist you, and to give you the best service in the world. So please, for those who want to come to Australia, it's really the best. I'm not saying because I'm not sugarcoating this. Australia, Niti, right, is such multi-diversified, even with food. It's lovely, fresh. If you with everything, it's
most
all
livable
here from
cities
different
in
parts
the world.
of the world. Yes, Melbourne is a livable city in the world, of course, even though we're an unlockable city. Just joking, but we are, we will rise again, Victoria. But anyways, Niti, coming here, people here are very friendly, very supportive because it's multi-diversified. And, different religions are here as well. We all embrace one another because we are one as a family in Australia, whether you're an original or in metro, it doesn't really matter because even in original, we've got lots of beautiful opportunity there, and even like accessible shopping centers, everything. It's called regional, but it's not literally like a regional that has no electricity or whatever. There is abundance. There's abundance there as well. Okay. The only difference is it's quite far when you're traveling, but it's the same sort of accessibility anyway. So what else are you looking for? Guys, please reach out to us any time of the day. Now, I would also like, we're running out of time, Niti. I would like to say thank you. Thank you for your time. Anything else you want to say
Thank you for
before I wrap this up quickly? Great.
Well,
And
you've already said that if you have you need any assistance with the visas, feel free to reach out to us.
Yes, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time, right? Because next week, guys, we'll have a guest who had student visas, regardless if they're now residents or not. We just need to know what's the life after migration. What are the bloopers? What are the best thing, the worst experience? Is a real talk, Niti. So please tune in next Friday. And I believe, Niti, are we adjusting the time right now? Are we adjusting the time in Victoria, in Melbourne? Not yet.
Yes, from
I think we're still.
Next week,
Is it
yes, because of
okay?
daylight saving.
Daylight saving, so it will be 8 p.m. for those in Victoria. You know what I'm talking about, in New South Wales as well. Guys, it's gonna be 8 p.m. for us in AEST, Australian Eastern Standard Time. It will be 8 p.m. for next week because it's springtime, so it's moving forward 1 hour moving forward. Okay, for the rest of the countries all over the world who are actually tuning in right now, it's the same time, whatever is the time right now. Same channel, Talk Live channel, and of course with Lee here. And I would like to also share with you that I've got now my website, Niti. Okay, it's www.motivationalee.com. If you want to see all my services here, not just coaching, I do hosting as well. If you want a big or small events, and also I do team building as well, Niti. And what else do I do? A lot, right?
Wow.
So not just coaching, wellness, and direction. Go to my website, www.motivationalee.com. And don't forget to go to my YouTube channel, Motivationalee. Please like, share, and subscribe, including all of my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, as well on Motivationalee. And one last thing, as I thank you, everyone. Bibo, you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in, Bibo. Right, thanks for the support. I would like to thank each one of you for supporting us in our first episode, season 1. First stop is Subclass 500 student visa. Thank you so much. And I would like to leave important message to you. Live the life of your dreams, guys. Live it. Okay. A dream without a plan, even a timeline, will always be a dream. So please act now. Contact me via YouTube channel or FB page as Motivation, as I said. And you've got the email address there as well. If you want to reach out to me, have a look, replay this any time of the day. Okay. So Niti, once again, see you next time. And to all of you, see you again next week for our testimonies as well, life after migration. Have a blessed evening, and all of you, thank you so much. Lovely Lee on Motivation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great evening. Bye. Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye.